Dude, you're glazing Darnold.
Wait a minute. I hate the guy.
You've been glazing him for 2 hours.
How do you not glaze 26-6?
Same reason you don't glaze Hurts for 26-6.
This guy's done it on 2 fucking different teams.
Well,
different coaches, different coordinators. All that bullshit you give me about Hurts with different coordinators, and this guy's going to throw for 45.
Yeah, at least Hurts has showed up in the moment, so now I can trust him a little bit.
Without further ado, we bring our boy in. Big Z! Zander Krause joins us right now.
What's up, Silz? How you doing, bro?
What do you got tonight, buddy?
Big football Friday. I feel good. I mean, look, Alabama's got to get back on track. They haven't been playing good. Ty Simpson starting off real strong, kind of falling off. 2 good defenses tonight, Alabama, Oklahoma. I like Bama on the road here because I don't think they'll lose to them twice. But Oklahoma's playing good, well coached, good defense. Going to be a good game, man. Going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it tonight.
OU's favored by 1.5 in this game. I just don't believe in that OU offense. I think they got a really good defense.
Is that all it is in Oklahoma, though? 1.5?
1.5. But to me, I mean, you should be a 3-point favorite at home. So to me, that really says that Bama's favored going into this game. So I got Bama winning this game. Yeah. I got Bama winning like 24-21 tonight. I think it's close tonight.
Yeah, I think I said like 21-17 earlier, where I do think the defenses are good. I don't think it's going to be an explosive offensive game for sure. So we'll see what happens. Silz, it should be a good one, man. I'm happy that they're in the playoff. It's going to be good to watch them. So
what'd you take away from last night, man? That was some ball game.
Great ball game, man. Great football game. Great teams. 2 really good teams in the NFC. You know, both have their faults. I'll say this. Both of them are better than the Eagles are right now. But I also came away with this. Both of those teams are very beatable. You know, that's kind of been the case of the NFL. And I guess in a way that's always the case for somebody's beatable. But, you know, I didn't come out of that game while feeling like the Eagles were inferior to them. You know, after watching them for, I don't know, what have we watched now? 13, 14 games this year. I did feel like both of them can be got, you know, with the right plan. If you have Vic Fangio up against those offense, you can slow them down a little bit. I mean, I feel like those teams can be got, but look, there's no doubt those are the 2 classes of the NFC right now. Those are 2 good football teams. Matthew Stafford, to me, is the MVP of the league. And Darnold, you know, I didn't take as much as you did from Darnold. I'll just say that.
Well, you got to, if we're going to count Hurts for winning, you got to count him for winning too. He's 26-6 on 2 different ball teams.
I think that's very fair. I mean, a lot of people in here bitch to you all the time about your criticism of Jalen because of the winning. It's fair going down that road. I personally, you know, I probably gave too much credence to that because it's not a good way to analyze an individual player. So I'm not trying not to give it too much to Sam. He's a good player. The one thing I was thinking about that game
2 different teams, though, Zander.
The one thing I was thinking about that game is that the confidence game that Darnold needed?
I heard you say that.
He's got a lot of pressure, a lot of narratives that exist on his name. A lot of baggage. Yeah, right. Where people have kind of talked about him as, he doesn't handle pressure, he can't do it. Sometimes all it takes
I still think that.
Sometimes all it takes though is you yourself learning you can do it. You know, sometimes if you never accomplish it, sometimes you might believe some of that outside shit. You know, so I think maybe there's something to watch there if Darnold can learn from that. But it's really hard for me to fear Seattle with him still. I'm sorry. It just is.
Okay. How about this? He shit the bed in that playoff game last year, right? Right?
He more shit. Yeah, he did. But he more shit the bed in the Lions game.
Okay.
But
he did. Do you think he fought his way out of that last night by throwing 2 picks and winning the football game? And I'll make this point to you too earlier at SoFi. He did throw 4 interceptions in that game. You know, however, get this, Zander. The Rams only won that game 22-19.
I know. Remember we talked about it when it happened. How do you have 4 picks and you lose and you win the game by 2 points, or you lose the game by 2 points? Remember, with a chance to win at the end. So, yeah, no, I mean, look, that's the weird part about that Seattle team. You know, there were so many good things to take from that game last night, and it really happened. Like, you got it all. Beginning of the game, I'm watching, and I'm like, holy shit, the Rams are cooking this team. They were moving the ball up and down the field. like clockwork. Defense was getting stops. Darnold wasn't really doing much. He was like 3 for 5 in passing to start the game.
Good.
Didn't really do a whole lot. They had that big explosive play that got them down into the red zone, but outside of that, they didn't really do much on offense. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, look at how important red zone defense is. If you get a couple stops in the red zone, even with the way the Rams are moving the ball, you can stay in a game. And this is why the Eagles are always in games, because they got great red zone defense and they got great red zone offense. And then as you keep moving through the game, the Rams go up big after going down. I think it was 14-13. They go back up 16-14. Then they get 2 touchdowns in a row and they're up 30-14. And it felt like for a second, all right, this game might be over. The Rams. And then here comes Seattle's defense. They get the punt return touchdown to put them back within a score. And then Seattle's defense, in the end of that fourth quarter, late in that fourth quarter, last 6, 8, 10 minutes, that Seattle defense was swarming. I think the Rams had 3 straight 3-and-outs in that defense. They couldn't do shit. Rams kicker misses the kick. You go to overtime, and just credit to Seattle for getting the job done. But really was an impressive game in terms of you saw great passing. You saw Matthew Stafford dominate. You saw Puka Nacua dominate. But you also saw, how a balanced approach can kind of get you to the finish line where that red zone defense really helped Seattle out. And then they had the big run, from Kenneth Walker, which was a big play. And, I think that punt return is also slept on as well. So really good football game. Dude, that was probably the game of the year, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was a great game.
When you watch a passing attack like that and you see the Eagle passing attack, what's that? How do you feel? Is it more important to have the balanced or the attempting of balance that Philadelphia has? Because I don't care what anyone says, and I'm still going to hold to it. Dude, if you can't run the ball and you can't defend the run, you're not a championship football team.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care for Stafford throwing the ball for 457 last night. Man, that's impressive. But at the end of the day, is that championship football?
Yeah,
I don't know if it is.
I hear you, no doubt. I think that's probably the biggest concern with the Eagles. The other part is like, if you add that into the fact that, let's just call it like objective, no opinion involved. Seahawks 12-3, Rams 11-4, Niners 10-4. Bears, what are the Bears? 10-4?
I think they're 9-5 too.
No, they're 10-4.
They're 10-4? Okay.
Yeah, Packers are 9-4-1. Like, we have the worst record outside of the Bucks of all of the teams in the playoffs. Now, that doesn't mean everything.
Toughest schedule too, though.
Toughest schedule, but it doesn't mean everything. I'm just saying, sometimes you got to look and be like were the teams who got into the wild card last year, were they on our level? No, they weren't. And it proved in the playoffs. If you couple the record thing with the fact that we don't run the ball or stop the run, to me, that's a hard team to buy in the playoffs. If we were running the ball well and we were stopping the run, or, the defense doesn't concern me as much because I think Vic kind of gives some of that, but whatever. You're right about it. If we were running the ball well, I think you're looking at it and you're like, yeah, they can get this thing going. Forget the record. But the fact that they're not running the ball, I think, makes everybody, all right, what are they going to do? What are they going to be? Who are they going to call? And that's where I think the biggest questions come with this Eagle team.
See, I don't think you're going to turn the run game on.
I don't either. I'm more looking at what do you be? What are you then when you need offense? Do you just become because Jalen does give you every once in a while, he will have a good game passing. It's not consistent, it's not high volume, but every once in a while he'll play so good he makes up for those concerns. But is that the version you're going to get of Hurts? Remember, 2 playoff games last year, Hurts dominated. 2 playoff games last year, Hurts struggled. What Hurts are you going to get? And then what can the defense do? What can those offenses do to this Eagle defense? It's going to be a big question, man. Because remember, that Seattle defense was better than the Eagles defense going into that game last night from a statistical standpoint. So, in a tougher division. Wait, that's the best division in the NFL. That might be the best division in football.
The North is pretty good too. But you're right.
I like that West right now, dude. You got the Rams, you got the Niners, and you have the Niners.
Hey, by the way, the Arizona team is they're not sorry. They're okay for a bad record team.
Who's sorry?
I said that Cardinal team is not that awful of a football team too. I've seen them beat some teams up this year. That's a really good division. You're right, the NFC West. I want to show you something here that I think, though, will play into the Eagle fan side, and we brought this up at the beginning of the program. So what did you say? You said it to John. There was almost like 1,000 yards in offense between both teams, right?
Yeah. Okay. It's like 985 or something.
Yeah, well, you're not doing that to the Eagle defense, and I'll tell you why. Dak in the first game had 188 passing yards and 24-34. Mahomes had 187. He was 16-29. Even Stafford was 19-33 for 196. Mayfield was 22-40 for 289 with 2 picks. Herbert was 12-26 for 139. That outlier game of 354 when Dak was behind and he had 2 touchdowns in the game, they were down 21 points. They had to throw. My point is, all these offenses in the NFC that are currently in the playoff mix, you're not fucking putting up 500 yards on offense against the Eagle defense. I don't believe that.
Remember, the Bears put up 425.
Only because they ran the ball.
Only whatever.
How many yards? Okay, wait. Okay. The only way you're going to knock them out is if you have a big run game. And do you think Seattle had 174 rushing last
year? Yeah,
night.
but here's the difference, right?
Like, what team in the postseason right now do you think could put up 200 yards rushing again? See, I think to knock Philly out, a team's got to go for 200 yards rushing on you.
Well, this is where I think the Rams and the Seahawks are a threat, whereas the Bears, while they have a good record, might not be in the postseason because Vic is going to adjust to what they did to run the ball for 281 in that game. The question with the Bears is they don't have the passing game when Vic goes to a 6-man front to make you pay. You look at the Rams, they got Blake Corum, they got Kyron Williams. So, and by the way, did anybody notice how much the Rams ran the ball last night?
A lot.
I mean, that doesn't look like your normal Sean McVay team. They were pounding the ball in the first half. And Matthew Stafford still racked up 400 yards of passing. So if you just assume they're going to give them the touches, even if Vic stops that run and it has to use an extra man up front to do it, Stafford's the perfect quarterback to take advantage of that.
They ran the ball 39 times last night.
And kind of similarly with Seattle. I know you don't like Darnold, well, not you, but people don't like Darnold. But, they got those 2 tandem of backs. They got Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. And if you do the same thing there, you take away their run game. Can Darnold, make you pay in the passing game? I don't think Caleb can. But I think Stafford can. In fact, I know Stafford can. So, I don't know. I mean, that Rams going to be a tough game. That Rams team will be a tough team. I'm happy they got to go on the road, though. That helps the Eagles a big time.
88 plays they ran at Seattle. He had 49 passing attempts and 39 rushing attempts in that game. And the Rams lost. You had 581.
Yeah, I've never seen sleep today, dude.
What?
Rams are losing sleep today. They had 500 yards of offense almost. They had 40 minutes of play.
No turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, they were 3 for 6 in the red zone. No turnovers. I mean, 225 from Puka Nacua, over 400. What was it, 450 for Stafford? They're not happy. That was a bad loss. The fact that they lost that game is pretty wild.
I want you to do me a favor right now. Get a pad and pencil. Okay? I'm going to ask you this
how much
here.
Pad do I need? I got sticky notes.
Get a piece of paper here, okay? All right. You ready?
Yeah.
NFC. I want you to rank me the quarterbacks that are in the current playoff picture right now.
All right, let me pull up the playoff picture. Okay. So we got
Seahawks and Rams have qualified.
Seahawks and Rams. Then you got Bears, Eagles, Bucks, Niners, Packers.
Correct.
All right. So what are we doing? Ranking the quarterbacks?
I want you to rank the quarterbacks this year off their play. Okay? And I want you to rank them 1 to 7.
So as we do these ranks, I think the Eagles might have the best defense of these 7 teams too, which is going to be a big factor. All right, 1, Stafford, easy money. Stafford's best quarterback in football right now. I think Stafford's number 1 quarterback in the playoffs. Number 2, probably Jordan Love. Jordan Love's played well this year.
Okay,
right.
Love.
Go Jordan Love. Go Jordan Love at 2.
Okay, I'll go there.
3, where are you going?
I'd go Love.
Are you on board with me?
Yeah.
You want to do this with me, or am I doing it for you?
No, I'm doing it with you.
All right. So who you had? Did you have the same 1 and 2 as me?
Yeah, I had 1 and 2, Stafford and Love.
All right, 3. Probably looking at Darnold here.
Sam Darnold. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, you got to go Darnold there. Can't go Hurts there. Hurts hasn't played well enough consistently this year.
Okay. Number
4.
4.
You got Purdy, you got Baker, you got Caleb, and you got Jalen. I mean, HKP, you're saying Z. No. All right, who do you got ahead of him? Purdy, Jalen, Baker, or Caleb? Darnold is 2, not 3. I don't know, dude. Jordan Love's playing real good right now, Akbar.
Of course he is.
Jordan Love's playing real good right now.
Who's 4?
Is this who's played better this year, or is this who I trust? Because this is a
No, I didn't ask you who you trust.
Okay, because that's a different list.
Okay.
That's a way different list.
Playing better this year in 2025 of the current playoff teams right now in contention and right now that is in. Now, this could change, obviously, after this weekend by seeding, and some teams could potentially get knocked out like the Bucks, and then you left Carolina and Bryce Young in. So, okay.
Who you got it for? Exercises this year, guys, not previous years. Exercises this year. Who you got it for?
This year.
Who you got?
This year, right now.
You're not going to tell me. You're waiting for me. Who you got?
At number 4. I don't think Mayfield's had a good year.
No, he hasn't.
I think he had a great start.
I don't care about the start.
I don't. Purdy hasn't played a lot.
No.
And
Caleb Williams completely.
I don't trust Caleb Williams. So I got to go Jalen Hurts at number 4.
All right. That's where I was going. I'm going Jalen 4, Caleb 5, Brock 6, Baker 7.
What's your 5th?
After Caleb.
You think Caleb's played better than Mayfield?
Yeah. Now let's do quarterbacks we trust.
Mayfield.
Who do you trust in the postseason?
Caleb. Mayfield, Caleb, and then Purdy. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Now, what's the one? How about we do offense?
Trust. No, let's do trust first.
Let's do trust. All right. Then we're going to do offenses.
All right. And then we got to do defenses.
Okay, fair enough. In the playoff picture right now. Let's see.
All right, I got my trust list.
Trust list.
I got my trust list.
All right. I'll give you my trust list.
Go ahead.
I got Stafford 1.
Stafford 1, me too.
After that, I don't really have anybody.
Oh, bullshit. Number 2.
I got Jalen Hurts.
Me too.
At 2. And after that, I really don't trust anybody in the playoffs.
Me neither, but for the sake of the combo, you can't ride the fence.
All right. I'll go Purdy because he's been to the Super Bowl.
Me too. It's exactly why I put Purdy. Who'd you put 4?
I'm going to put Love.
Oh, I don't have Love at 4.
5. I'm going to put Baker. 6. Oh, wait a minute. No. Let me take that back. I'm going to take Baker out, put Darnold there.
Oh.
Then I'm going to put Mayfield and then Caleb. So here's my list. Stafford 1, Hurts 2, Purdy 3, Love 4, Darnold 5, Mayfield 6, Caleb 7.
All right, ready for mine?
Yeah.
You're going to hate mine. You're going to hate mine. 1, I got Stafford. 2, I got Hurts. 3, I got Brock. 4, Caleb Williams. I've never seen it. I don't know. It's unknown. I watched Jordan Love throw 3 picks in the playoffs last year. 4, I got Caleb. 5, I got Baker. 6, I got Jordan Love. And 7, I got Sam Darnold.
The winningest coach, the winningest quarterback in 2 years.
Dude,
you got
shit's the bed.
Okay. In one game.
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
I don't give a shit. And it wasn't one game.
It was.
No,
it was one playoff game. He's only had one playoff game in his career. He's had one playoff game.
Dude, Vikings versus Lions last year.
That's not a playoff game.
January 7th.
He played one game. He's had one playoff game. Some of that garbage yards were at the end, though.
It's not one game. He shit the bed in the battle for the 1 seed last year.
How many playoff games has he played? 1.
They lost 31-9 in that game last year before the playoffs. Sam Darnold in that game was 18 out of 41.
Okay.
18
what was Hurts in his
41.
first fucking playoff game?
That's
he was
not a
18
playoff
of
game.
32. Okay,
Not a playoff game.
then what are we talking about here?
Dude.
Okay, what was the play his first
Sam
playoff?
Darnold shows you who he is every
Bro,
week, and you're like, I'm not
shows
blind.
What are you talking about? He's showing you who he is.
Dude, you're glazing Darnold.
Wait a minute. I hate the guy.
You've been glazing him for 2 hours.
How do you not glaze 26-6?
Same reason you don't glaze Hurts for 26-6.
This guy's done it on 2 fucking different teams.
Well,
Different coaches, different coordinators. All that bullshit you give me about Hurts with different coordinators, and this guy's going to throw for 45.
yeah, at least Hurts has showed up in the moment, so now I can trust him a little bit.
Come on, man. You got to give this guy some love here and what this guy's gone through.
Oh, my God. What do you want, a sympathy grab?
This guy, no.
Third overall. What
Are you
what
fucking
does he need my
crazy?
sympathy for?
This guy was with the Jets in Carolina. He goes to 2 good football teams, and he puts them in the playoffs. You got to be fucking kidding me, man.
Oh, my gosh. Sileo.
All right,
like
what's this?
Card.
Here's the offenses in the NFL and the NFC. Let's go
All right,
here.
I'll do
Offenses. Okay, here. I'm going to go Rams 1.
Agreed.
I'm going to go, let's see. I'm going to go Seahawks 2.
Agreed.
I'm going to go Packers 3.
Agreed.
I'm going to go 49ers here.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm going to go Bears 5.
You're putting Eagles 7, aren't you? You
I'm
stink.
going Eagles 6. And I'm going Bucks 7.
I think you're exactly on, actually. I think that's right. I think that's the offensive rankings for these teams.
Let's do what you said, too, defense. That's an interesting one.
That's a better one.
Let's see that one here. With these playoff teams, you can't call yourself the number 1 defense having given up 581 yards. I don't.
I'm putting Eagles 1 because of Vic. You know, it's one thing to have season rankings. It's another thing to have Vic in one game. I got to beat you in one game. Who's going to have the better plan? Who's going to have the better approach? I think Vic. I'm going Eagles 1 on defense.
Okay, I'll go there. I'll pick that. I'll pick Seahawks 2.
Seahawks and Rams are kind of a toss-up for 2 to me, but I'll give you Seahawks.
I'm going to go Rams 3.
Rams 3. Agreed.
Packers
Packers probably 4, without Micah.
Even without Micah, I'll go Packers there.
Then you're probably going Niners.
Niners, yeah, 5.
What's the Bucks defense like?
Terrible. I'd rather get this at 6. I'm going Bears.
Bears and then Bucks.
Bears and then Bucks. Dude, the Bucks are 30th in pass defense. You're telling me that the first opening round wildcard game is going to be against Stafford and the Rams if you're the Bucks at Raymond James? The Rams are going to put 500 yards on that team. They're going to fucking work them, man.
Yeah, but look, this is why I think this is why fans should be still confident going into the postseason. I mean, if you have a defense that can do what we think Vic is capable of doing, you're going to be in every football game. And then it's just a question of not how good and consistent our offense can be week to week anymore. It's can they make the plays when the plays present themselves in a game? And I think they've shown us enough that they will be able to do that. Now, this year, it's been few and far between, a lot more so than previous years. How much does playoff experience come into it? Because, that's the other thing. I'm looking at these 7 playoff teams, Silz. Darnold's the quarterback of the Seahawks, 1 playoff game. Caleb's the quarterback of the Bears, no playoff games. Baker's got some playoff games, but not too many. I don't know, 3 of them maybe? 3 of them. Brock Purdy's got some playoff experience. Jordan Love's got not much playoff. I think he's 1 and 2 in the postseason. And Jalen Hurts has 9 playoff games. Stafford has 10. I mean, Jalen Hurts in 5 years has as many playoff games as Stafford in 15. Now, obviously, because the Lions and stuff, but Jalen leads the pack in experience. He's been to 2 NFC title games.
Let's see here. Let's see here. What's Purdy's record in the postseason? Postseason.
I can look this stuff up for you if you want.
He's 4 and 2.
Yeah, 4 and 2. So he's got 6. Jalen's 6 and 3 in the postseason.
Yeah.
And Stafford, I believe, is 5 and 4.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Purdy, that's right. Purdy's got a pretty damn good postseason record.
Stafford's 5 and 5.
Okay.
Postseason.
Let's go running games. We're going to go running games because, as you said, you got to run the ball and you got to defend the run, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This legitimately is what I think could cost the Eagles.
Okay. The number 1 running game in pro right now with these playoff games, who do you like as the number 1 run team in the NFL?
Well, let's just run through it. The Bears have a dual backs with Monangai and DeAndre Swift. Bucks, Niners, Christian McCaffrey. Packers have Josh Jacobs. Not a great year for Josh Jacobs back here. The Rams have Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, and the Seahawks have Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. So 1 there.
Bro, the Bears are number 1.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Bears
are you going CMC number 2? Like, what do you want? The more talented guys are clearly Barkley, CMC, and Josh. But the more talented tandems are the Bears and the Rams and the Seahawks.
I'm going Rams number 2.
I'll go Rams. I'm good with that.
I'm probably going to go Packers. No.
I'm looking. So we went what? Bears 1?
Bears 1, Rams 2. And I went Packers 3.
Yeah, I think that's right. I don't see how you could it's probably Packers, Seahawks, Eagles. Next 3.
Packers, Seahawks, Eagles. Packers, Seahawks. Eagles at 5.
No, I don't think 49ers are Packers. 49ers haven't really been running the ball well this year. I know they have McCaffrey, but
he's been more of a threat, I think.
In the past, right.
In the past.
Yeah.
And then you'd probably have you'd have Bears, Rams, Packers, Seahawks, Eagles, 49ers, and the Buccaneers would round out.
Yep, I agree. That's right where I am.
But see, let me show you something here. You got the top-rated defense, and you got the 5th best running offense. You've got the Seahawks, who have the 2nd best defense, and the Seahawks have the 4th. This is where I think these games are going to be close. I think every single one of these playoff games
Me too.
are going to be really close, and this is why I think, Zander, if Seattle gets home field and you got to travel to Seattle, not that I think you guys haven't won since 2008 up there. That's a thing, because I don't think those things are things. But, dude, you got to travel to Seattle, go up there and play, go 3,800 miles, and you got to play them at their place. That's a pretty tough fucking
it's
ass.
tough, but I got to be honest with you. And, hey, maybe I'm wrong, but I ain't worried about that. To me, I watch the Rams dominate.
But you're not that good on offense, bro.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, I see the Rams travel on the road. I think the biggest win for the Eagles last night is the fact that Matthew Stafford, at 37 years old, has to fly across the country to play the Packers or to play the Buccaneers or the Panthers in round one, and he can't park his ass in L.A. I know everyone's like, we take over L.A. I don't really care about that. Matthew Stafford was going to have the ability
in your own bed
to sit in L.A. for a month. That would have benefited him more to me than anything. So that's the biggest win for the Eagles. I mean, now Stafford and the old man Stafford's got to fly around the country. Nobody wants to do that, So let's see. Let's see. It's going to be a good one, dude.
Absolutely here.
Boy, you're getting jacked up for the postseason.
No, I think when you start making comparisons, I think you see how close everything is going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. It's a close league this year. There's no real dominance. I mean, you want to look at a crapshoot, go look at the AFC playoffs.
That's right. I mean, what do you think comes out of there? Or here, let's rank the quarterbacks because I think it's even harder here.
This should be pretty easy to rank the quarterbacks.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Who do you got as the top quarterback?
Josh Allen.
Allen won. Okay, who's two?
I was leaning Herbert, but you probably go Drake May.
You think Drake May's played better than Bo Nix?
I do. And I think Herbert's playing great, but he's got no offensive line. He's playing good considering the circumstances. Both his tackles are out.
What about Trevor Lawrence, who was just named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week?
Yeah, he's playing good too. Here, let me just rattle off the top of my head and let me see what you would adjust. This isn't my final.
All right.
So Josh Allen 1, Drake May 2, Herbert 3. Give me Trevor 4. Give me Bo Nix 5, Rodgers 6, and Stroud 7. I probably want to move Bo Nix up. That's a little low for me for Bo at 5. I probably put Bo above Trevor.
Here's mine: Allen, May, Nix, Herbert, Lawrence, Rodgers, Stroud.
I like your list better. Say that one more time.
Allen, May, Nix, Herbert, Lawrence, Rodgers, Stroud.
I like that. That's what I would go then. I think that's the better way.
Let's do defense.
Oof. Broncos 1.
You sure?
Chargers.
I'm going Texans.
Oh, shit. Texans and Chargers are both nasty defenses.
I'm going Texans 1.
I'm going to go Broncos, bro.
I'll go Broncos 2.
Broncos, wait, answer me this. Who's been better or more consistent for longer this year? The Texans have come on.
Texans are number 1 by a lot in total defense.
Broncos have been a great defense all year long.
Dude, I think, get this. You want to hear something fucked up, Zander? I think the defenses are actually on the AFC side.
Yeah.
And potentially the offenses are on the NFC side this year. I mean, dude.
All right, good. Texans 1. That's fine. Everybody agrees in the chat. Texans 1. Broncos 2?
I got Broncos 2.
Okay, Broncos 2. Probably Chargers 3.
Over the Patriots?
I think the Jags are over the Patriots, dude.
So you got the Chargers over the Patriots. Yeah, I think you're right. Chargers.
Chargers where? Chargers where? At 3?
3.
And then
the Patriots.
What about the Jags? I think
Jags
the Jags
5.
are better than the Patriots defense.
I got Jags 5.
Yeah, Jags are probably behind the Pats. All right, so you have and then what? Probably
Texans, Broncos, Chargers.
I'd probably go Bills, Steelers. Both of those defenses blow.
Yeah, they're at the bottom. Bills and Steelers. I'll go Steelers first, and then the Bills.
Oh, no, that Steelers defense has been pretty bad.
You know why? Because that's
And they
right.
got no TJ Watt.
That's right. I'm going to go Bills and then Steelers. No TJ Watt. So my defenses on the NFC or AFC side are Texans, Broncos, Chargers, Patriots, Jags, Bills, Steelers.
Yep. I agree.
Those would be the defenses are on the other side, huh?
Yeah. Well, the Eagles' D is good. The Bears' defense is not good, obviously. And the Packers' defense was really good, but losing Micah Parsons will do what? I think everybody thought the Seahawks and the Rams were great defenses until last night. The Rams defense started a lot stronger than they've been recently, but woo, baby. Playoff picture.
Will you learn anything from these final 3 games from the Eagles?
Well, yeah, I mean, let's talk about tomorrow. We haven't talked about it at all, but it's funny. It's a far cry from the NFC Championship game a year ago, last time we played this football team. Almost I know people like that they suck again, but man, I like when there's great competition in the division. It's been kind of
I like when the NFC East is good.
Me too. And it's been kind of a shitty divisional year. I mean, they suck. The Giants suck. The Cowboys suck. Everybody sucks. And just thinking back that the last time we played this team was for the NFC to win it all in Philly, to go to the Super Bowl. Hard to believe that this is the team we're playing tomorrow, was the team also in that game just, 9, 10 short, 11, or I guess now almost 11 months ago. But, yeah, I don't think you learn much from the 2 Commander games. I mean, I think you can learn – I think you do the same thing in the Commander games you do in the Raiders game. You either get your confidence, or you don't – you're not going to take much of it. You don't walk out of a win over those teams and say we're going to the Super Bowl. You find your rhythm, you find your confidence, you try and maybe get some things going that are struggling, like the running game, maybe see if we can get Saquon some confidence, stuff like that. And then the Bills game, I think, is a great test. I think it's a great test. I think it's a great late season test. I think it'll give you a perfect gauge of where you are. Weirdly, I think it's a good matchup for the Eagles because their defense isn't good and their offense is really good. Our defense is great and our offense kind of sucks. So can the offense still use it as a game to get going? The defense will have a chance to have a good test, going into the playoffs. So I think you're going to learn a lot from the Bills game. I don't think you're going to learn much of anything from the Commander game.
Well, they are 4th in rushing. I mean, and you've struggled against the run this year. And the only way that you keep drives going, and remember this, if you're going to get yourself ready for the postseason, what's the one thing you want to have on defense? You want to make sure that you get off the football field to get your offense, and you want to win 3rd down. You can't keep what you've done this year. The reason why the Philadelphia Eagles are not the dominant team that they were in 22. Let's take away 24. You can't stay on the field, and you can't get off the field. It's why all these games are close. Yeah. Zander, do you have better talent 95% of the time when you line up every Sunday? Yes. But you can't get off the field and stay on it.
Well, I think in the postseason, I think that red zone defense is going to be massive. I mean, you can see how even if you give up a shit ton of yards or you get Stafford starts throwing the ball all over the place on you, if you can win in the red zone, which Vic, takes pride in, and they're a great defense. Let me look at what they are ranked in the red zone right now.
They're number 1.
Red zone, no, they're not 1. They're 4. Rams are 3. Vikings are 2. Broncos are the number 1 red zone defense in the NFL. I think red zone defense, not only is it important every game, but I think the importance of it goes up massively in the postseason. And, you look at that, what are the Eagles going to be able to do? I mean, if you give up the yards and you give up the run, okay, can you stop them in the red zone? I mean, look at last night. The Seahawks gave up 40 minutes of possession. They gave up nearly 500 yards of offense. They gave up 115 yards on the ground. They gave up 400 yards through the air, and they win the football game because they get 3 stops in the red zone and force a missed kick. So now that's special teams, but still, so that's where I think the Eagles have to win games, is if your defense can get stops in the red zone and your offense will take advantage of the opportunities when they come, you can knock any of these teams out, man.
What are you expecting from Hurts to tomorrow? I can't believe I'm saying tomorrow.
I know.
What what are you expecting out of him tomorrow? Here's what I would say, and I didn't even ask you yet for your prediction. I think I said 28-10.
I don't even know what I put. Here it is. I put 27-16.
Yeah, I put 28-10.
I got a bunch of field goals for Commanders.
And so for me, I think, don't you do this if you're them. The Buffalo game, like you said, is going to be the prep game for the playoffs, because then you're going to probably rest depending on what happens with Seattle and the Rams. And I would think the Chicago game on Saturday too, because that game probably won't mean anything, that last Commander game. You agree?
Yeah, most likely. It's most likely going to be a sit game.
That's probably going to be a Tanner McKee game, right?
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. So the Buffalo game is probably going to be your precursor. Don't you get a 21-point lead in this and then throttle it back, and then don't show too much more? Take your guys out at the beginning of the third? Or do you want continuity? And do you want to work on the run game? Do you want to work in the O-line? I mean, what's more important, rest or rust right now? Because
yeah, I think rest. It's late in the year. You're missing Lane. You're missing, Jalen. I think they want to stay as healthy as possible. When it comes to Hurts tomorrow, I don't think you're going to have this isn't a moment where you remind everybody who you are. It's a moment to find your momentum. Keep your confidence high.
Win ugly.
Yeah, but also get on the same page with your receivers. Wherever you feel you need a patch up going into the postseason, you feel like you need to get that connection better with AJ or Devontae or whoever. Devontae's had a slower couple weeks. Go there. I don't think it's going to be huge in the air. I don't think they're going to have to, honestly. And I think the bigger importance here is not Jalen. It's getting the run game going. I mean, you want to get this run game going as much as you can. Now, I'm kind of with you and John, where you guys are like, I don't think the run game is going to get going. It is what it is. I kind of agree with you. But can you get it incrementally better? I'm not asking for last year, but can you get it 15 to 20% better than what it's been? Can you get 4 yards a carry, and get 20 carries a game? That, to me, is enough. And that's what I think they should be focused on, trying to find that type of rhythm and find that type of momentum to use. I don't think Jalen will have a crazy big game because he won't have to.
Don't you want to also get Jake Elliott some game snaps where you're kicking field goals outside, kicking them in the weather? Don't you want him also? You don't want to just, and I saw people in there going, you're not going to win in the playoffs with field goals. Yes, you are.
Yeah, it's true.
That's Tom Brady that.
I know.
Point differential in a football game is 3 points, friends. Don't think that we just got through going through the exercise, how close this might be because of defensive, offensive output here. I think special teams are going to be an enormous thing in this year's playoffs. Don't you want to, instead of going for it on fourth down, Zander, don't you want to, kick the field goals, dude? Get your team an opportunity and your special teams a chance to get out there and get some reps, no? Or do you want to keep on the gas?
I agree with you. And you know what? One of the biggest things that I think I have very little confidence in the postseason is Jake Elliott. All right. I mean, he's really fractured my confidence. You're playing in most of our postseason games. If you look at them right now, if you have to go to Seattle, if you're hosting games in Philly, unless you're playing in SoFi, they're all outdoor arenas. Bears are outdoors. Niners are outdoor. Packers are outdoor. Buccaneers are outdoor. Everything is outdoor. So except for SoFi. So what does Jake do? I don't have any trust in him. I think he could be one of the things that could potentially cost us. When
it's a great take, because look at the weather in Seattle, Chicago.
You're right.
Green Bay.
All these places. So when you see a kicker that comes out in the field, and this is my fear with Jake. Jake used to be the kicker that walked onto the field and kind of had that stone face and just largely unfazed by moment, circumstance, pressure, anything. Boom, kicks the ball. You see that with guys like Brandon Aubrey now. You even see that with the Seahawks kicker last night. And then there's kickers that, and I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but this is normally what I look for. Then there's kickers that you see walk onto the field and you're like, that dude looks like he's fucking about to combust. He's shaking like a leaf. And that was the Rams kicker last night. That was one of his first big kicks. Remember, they signed that guy midway through the year. Well, he was shaking like a leaf when he missed that kick at the end, the 40-yarder. So Chargers have a great kicker. So I think Jake, to me, doesn't look like that confident kicker right now. He looks like the pressure's getting him. He looks like he's not confident he's going to make the kick. He looks like, as Nad puts in the chat, he's a little terrified. I don't know about that. So I'm a little concerned on Jake Elliott in the postseason.
Do you think this is his final year in Philly?
Is his contract up? Because they gave him a pretty big contract.
You can always cut a guy.
I know that. I'm just saying, if it's not up,
I think he's like making $3.
It's not about the money to me. I was just asking, like, if he's under contract, I think they'll bring him back. Yeah, I do.
Well, if he has a shit fucking playoff.
Yeah, well, let's see.
Right?
I mean, he's missed what, 5 kicks, and he's making more than $3 million. He signed a 4-year, $24 million extension.
Holy piss!
He's under contract he signed that in 24. He's under contract through the 2028 season. Yeah, he'll be back.
Wow. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the postseason. All right, I got a couple more here for you. Before we get to some supers, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Mike North's going to join us in a couple minutes. All right. Who are these playoffs for the Philadelphia Eagles most important to? Give me an offensive player and a defensive player.
Most important to?
Yep.
Offensive player, Jalen Hurts. I don't think that's hard. This is a player that has prided himself on winning. This is a player that has rightfully stated that, he wants to be judged in the biggest moments, and he cares solely about winning the games and getting to the final and becoming a Super Bowl champion. And these are the moments that he'll be judged on. So to me, it's Jalen Hurts on offense. This is the moment to make everybody who criticizes your passing, make people like me who question whether you're going to be consistent enough to lead the offense, make people like Sileo who say you can't win with that style. This is his moment to not only shut everybody else up, but, cement his legacy. I mean, if he wins another Super Bowl, he's going to be a Hall of Fame type guy, So this, to me, it's Jalen on offense. And then defensively, a couple names come to mind.
One.
Who do you get? Who?
Okay.
Vic?
No, let me give you my 2. On offense, bro, Barkley shits the bed, man. It's time to fucking really have a conversation about what you're going to do in the draft by finding me another running back, because I'm not going to go week to week, keep asking you the same repetitive groundhog question going, what's wrong with fucking Barkley? I'm not doing that, man.
I don't see that.
I mean, we've been doing this for 6 fucking months. It's 6 months. He's last in every metric.
Can I tell you why I disagree with you?
Sure.
I don't disagree with your premise. I agree. Saquon's got to show, but they already paid him again last year. They're not moving on from him. Even if he shits the bed, they're not moving on from him. And they don't have a decision to make this summer on him. Jalen, remember, they're going to extend Jalen this summer if Jalen proves it. So they have a decision to make.
You're going to extend Jalen, and you're going to have a back who's toast. You're under the impression the old line's going to come back next year and be better. I'm not.
I agree. I'm just saying, to me, Jalen, the playoffs are a bigger moment for Jalen to me.
I'm talking about, like me, I guess I'm looking at team building and decisions you have to make in 26.
But I think my take on Jalen does factor into that, because, like, you need to identify quick, like.
Yeah. I might keep Goddard if I move Barkley. I might keep him.
I tell you what, there's probably teams licking their chops getting ready for Goddard to hit the moon.
Dude, that guy's going to have 70 catches and 700 yards probably by the end of the year and 13 touchdowns.
Dude, you know who will sign him, too.
All over that.
If he goes to the open market, you know who will be.
Dude,
not only the Chiefs will be playing.
Jacks.
Dude.
The Bucks.
The Rams.
Did
you see those tight ends dropping passes last night?
Bro.
They're running 13 personnel like it's their job. They got 3 tight ends. Imagine Goddard with Matthew Stafford.
Or Drake May. Or Drake May.
Yeah, but they have Hunter Henry already.
Hey, okay, well, I'll go 2 tight end.
I agree, but I think they have a second tight end, if I'm not mistaken, over there, actually.
Yeah.
But, so Jalen. All right, so who you got defense?
Hey, Jalen Phillips, you want a fucking contract? You want to be able to be on this football team for the next 5 years? You want me not to have to go and draft an edge rusher in the first round? You want to prove to me that you belong here? You want to be one of the guys that I'm going to go with on the other side of Jalen Hunt and with Nolan Smith, and you 3 guys are going to be my edge rushers? You want a $25 million contract? Is that what you're really telling me, Drew Rosenhaus? That guy's a $25 million deal? Well, you better fucking show me in these playoffs. Playoffs start for you right now, Saturday. You got to show me, finish this thing off, get into the postseason, and show me you're a game wrecker. Because if that's the case, guess what? You make Howie Roseman's job easier. He then goes O-line, maybe wide receiver, depending on what they do with AJ. Bro, Jalen Phillips, I'm still this on him. Hey, he looks good, but is that enough for me to invest in him?
Yeah, so I'm going to go a different route here. All right. I think they've already invested a lot more in the player that is Jalen Carter. I think he's got a $35 million contract sitting potentially if the Eagles want to sign it. Do they want to sign it? And if he comes in here and wrecks a playoff game like he did last year, to me, it's Jalen Carter.
So you think you can erase the inconsistent year of 2025 with this postseason?
I think he can show you that when the moments become the biggest and you need your players to step up and you need a pass rush to step up and you need interior pressure to stop the run and you need these different things.
I hate that. I fucking hate that. And I'll tell you why. I hate that. A net player's idea. And I'll tell you why. Bro, if you want to be the best goddamn ball player possible that you can have, I watched the great ones play fucking great from September until February. And they play great every fucking week. Reggie didn't take time off. Donald didn't take plays off. Donald didn't take games off. When you're elite, dude, don't talk to me about 4 fucking games that you think matter more. Hey, to me, September 4th matters to me just as much as February 9th. If you're a quality football player, those games, Nick says this all the time. Hey, man, I don't look at a game any bigger than the next. We believe in process.
Legacies are cemented, though, in the postseason, Silz. And I agree with you. It doesn't mean it's an excuse for his poor play earlier and the poor conditioning and all those things. I agree with you on that part. It doesn't excuse any of that. But I think you can right a lot of those wrongs by really dominating in the postseason. I do.
Charles Haley was great every day. Great players are great every day, aren't they? Has Zach Bond been great every game pretty much?
Most part.
Dude, you trust giving Zach Bond $17 million? Do you really trust giving Jalen Carter $32 million annually? Do you really trust him on that?
No, I don't.
That's my problem. Hey,
but my question with Carter is it him or is it the injuries? Like, is he out of shape this year because of the injuries or because he's hurt? Anybody who deal with shoulder pain, when I tore my rotator cuff, I used to work out like a fiend.
So you're giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I tore my rotator cuff. Nothing got me out of the gym faster than having a torn rotator cuff. Now I'm a regular ass dude. This is an NFL athlete. It's not the same comp. I'm just using it as an example.
It is.
Our both the shoulders being destroyed.
You hurt your rotator cuff. You're an athlete. You understand what hurting your rotator cuff was.
You can't push. You can't bench press. You can't fucking do. You can't do shit in the gym. So, we're not acting like Carter's ass, Lewis. We're wondering if the $35 million is going to be shelled out.
And by the way, nobody's saying nobody wants him here. That's not what
he's obviously not. You guys sensationalize. Is he going to earn the $35 million contract that he's due? That's the question for me.
It's not if he's not here. Nobody's moving off of nothing. I mean, why does it have to be such an extreme for that shit for you guys to think when somebody's being – wait a minute. Are you – so here, let's do this. You think it's fair to be critical of Landon Dickerson's play this year?
Absolutely.
You think it's fair to be critical of Cam Jurgens' play this year?
Absolutely.
You think it's cool to be critical of the inconsistencies of Hurts this year?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Barkley.
Absolutely.
AJ. That doesn't mean that you don't fucking think they're good players. Two things can be true. Isn't it crazy how people, you go like this? No, we're talking about an underachieving offense this year that should be here. Look, if I looked at the names on the back of the jerseys, I would tell you this. If I was parachuted in and I landed here from Mars, I'd go, gee, is that the top 5 offense in football with those guys and those names on the back? Not the 25th. I mean, think about this. You're down at the bottom down there with the Titans.
Remember, here's another name for the defense. You brought up something that I think is very relevant in the playoff discussion this year, and it's the Eagles stopping the run. Well, Jordan Davis, you've had a great year, and by a lot of metrics, you've stopped the run and you've done things well, and you played yourself.
It's good.
You stop the run and you do something in this postseason and you show your value, this team's going to pay you, and they should pay you. And I already think in many ways he's earned his next contract. But, again, this is where legacies are made, is in the postseason. Get out there, solidify that defensive line. If him and Carter eat, I think both of them are getting paid this summer.
Let me tell you something. If they stop the run in Jordan Davis and you see the teams, keep an eye on this, how your boy's going to get paid. If you see going into the first playoff game, who would the Eagles play right now?
Who would they play?
Play the Niners.
Yeah, play the Niners right now.
Okay. If you stuff the run in the Niner game and then you stuff the run in, say, the Seahawks game, okay, and that gets you into the Super Bowl.
By the way, that's a dream scenario if we got to play those two teams first. I don't think you'd play the Seahawks first, though.
No, you'd play the Rams.
Would you?
No, you play the Rams second.
Wait, let's just do this real quick. If you get into the postseason, and we would play, obviously we'd play the Niners first. If we won, let's say the Bears won as the 2 seed, or the Seahawks would have the bye. Yeah, we would. Yeah.
You got to play the wild card team.
We'd play the wild card team.
You're going to play the Rams. So you would play the first game would be Niners and then Rams.
And then you would have
go to Seattle. If Seattle holds suit.
If Seattle beats Chicago.
Right. Now, Seattle gets beat. You're hosting the NFC Championship game again, like you did a year ago.
Chicago. If we host the NFC, no, it would be in Chicago. Chicago's the 2 seed right now.
Yeah, but you think Chicago's beating Green Bay in the playoffs? I don't think they're beating them this weekend.
I don't know, dude. That Chicago team's not bad, bro. That's a good team. That team is played much better than you. Now, the biggest question on them is, 1, Caleb, and 2, that defense. I mean, how good's that defense in the postseason? But Packers losing Micah Parsons, they play this weekend. Who you got this weekend? I think it's in Chicago. Oh, no. Is it in Chicago?
I'm taking the Bears.
Yeah, it's in Chicago. Yeah, I'm taking the Bears too. Well, so then they're going to be one step closer to the 2 seed.
Yeah. It's going to end up Seattle. It's going to go Seattle, Chicago, Philly.
Eagles. Yeah, and then if Eagles won round 1, Chicago wins round 1. That'd be tough because then they have to beat the Packers again in the first round. You're going to play the Rams in round 2 for the Birds in Philly. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't like that.
You want to hear something with Chicago? Let me show you this. If the playoffs were to go right now, you ready for this for Chicago? So check this out. If the Bears and it holds suit and they hit 2-hole here, they play the Packers, right?
Yep.
Eagles would play the 49ers. I mean, the Eagles would play it would be Rams and Bucks, and it'd be Eagles and Niners. In the second round, the Bears would play the winner of the Bucks.
The Bears would play the Bears would play the Rams.
They could play the Bucks in the second round and then be playing for the
Rams. The Bucks are going to get bounced by the Rams, probably.
Okay, but then the Rams. Okay, then Chicago would be hosting.
So we would go to Seattle for the second game,
and Chicago would be hosting the divisional game in Chicago.
So Chicago would host the Rams, and we would be going to Seattle.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? The Chicago Bears could be hosting a divisional game in Chicago.
Let's see. They got a long way to go to get there yet. They got to beat the Packers. Let's see what they do. But
you got any supers before we get to Mike North here?
We got a couple.
By the way, did you hear the fucking stupid thing coming out of Chicago right now?
No, what is it?
They're talking about moving the damn team to Indiana.
It's stupid. They're looking for leverage on politicians.
Wait, you're gonna move it to Gary, Indiana? The only thing I know from Gary, Indiana is the Jackson 5.
You're gonna take one of the biggest and one of the most historic NFL franchises and take it out of Chicago entirely and move it to Indiana. Who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
Hey, move it to Indiana.
They're posture. They're posture.
Where are they gonna go? Terre Haute?
Here's Cal. Jake Elliott in the postseason is all pro. I don't know, Cal. Let's see. He was good last year in the postseason. The Indiana Bears.
Hey, well, look, New York. The Jets and the Giants don't play in New York. They play.
Are you telling me Mike North logged a long, illustrious career in Chicago for the Bears? For the Bears to finally get good and they roll the fuck out to Indiana? Are you kidding me?
Hey, Mike, can you come on this week? Where are you? I'm in Terre Haute, Indiana, covering the Indiana Bears versus the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, no good. All right, Silz, good show,
All right, brother. I appreciate you, my friend.